Okay, hello, dear doctors. This is your mentor, Dr. Sharia. I hope everyone is well. Um, so, just like to give you a little tip about few things, and those things are like certainly related to EPIC verification. Actually, now a very quick question to start with: have you done your EPIC verification, and have you done your portal account? So this is the like first question to start with. So today in the beginning, it's very important that these two particular things, like, one is this Epic and one is this AMC portal account, actually, So these two things are, necessary at many, like, say, Epic verification, actually. So what is Epic verification, actually, So these two are essential things too. When you do this, eventually you get to you know, uh, appear, in AMC exam. All right. So this is the thing, actually. All right. So if it's not like, you start doing verification, then this Epic thing, you have to apply with your necessary few things like passport and necessary, documents. So you have to like, apply through the Epic portal, and like there was a time when we have to send these things by DHL, actually, earlier days, actually, but nowadays, you can through the um, Epic portal, actually, so Epic is like, it means every IMG is like, what is the proof that someone is finished MBBS from a relevant hospital. So that one's proof is actually Epic. So Epic verification, that is the something like, in that way it's important that, when you do it, that it's your proof that, you are an international medical graduate or an MBBS graduate, actually. Then comes after, when you do that, then comes the second part is like, if you go for AMC, then AMC portal account, then if you go for PLAB, then PLAB like portal account. So everything has its own portal. Like if it's usmle has its own account, actually. So for this one, like second comes is a AMC, portal account, actually. So fees will be required for this particular purposes. Now, if I just open up a little bit, so this is how the Epic certain things perhaps it's been mentioned. So you can go and find relevant uh, this particular establish an Epic account. So if you click that one, you can just go and open your account. So these are the parts. So very stepwise is written, actually. Check your med school eligibility. That means if your medical is eligible or not. So you can also check that one first of all. All right, very important, that one, actually. If you know already, many already appeared from your medical, then you don't really have to worry. But if new medical is, double check is important, actually. Establish an Epic account, which I just now show, like this is how it looks like. So it's more like a signing up something, actually, than confirm your identity. Very, very important, like confirming your own identity, actually. So Epic identification form, and you need to fill up it, all this thing, actually. Then required credential qualification and nominate terms to receive Epic report, actually. So these are the things. So one of these things is a final medical diploma. It means your MBBS certificate, like, it's a primary source of qualification. This is very, very important, actually. One more important thing here is your passport name and your MBBS degree, which is we call primary qualification, has to be the same, actually. So often this issue is there. Secondly, make sure your passport um, has some time, actually, because otherwise, again, you have to update the Epic and this portal. So this is one of the things. So better, whenever you start your journey for Australia, it's ideal that, or any exams in this world, it's better your passport has certain time, actually, or if necessary, you can renew those passports and all these things. So all right, so these are the thing. A proper standard pathway, like MC has certainly lots of type of pathway. The most common is the popular one is standard pathway, actually, like go through MC1 2 exam. But there's also provision with specialist pathway, like where consultants can also apply for them, like additional post graduation degree assessment would be also necessary. Important note for credential primary qualification, read this particular parts like uh, for verification actually, so another thing, medical registration to practice, then in future there will be certificate of good standing, so these are some of the futuristic thing would be also there actually. And make your note like epic id, so eventually you'll be have your own id actually. All right, so that's the thing. Then this epic part is over. If you see this epic part is over, then establish your AMC portfolio portal. Like now, when you open up that one, this is how AMC portal account looks like actually. All right, this is how AMC portal. Now sign up for AMC candidate. If you're a new candidate, you just click this one and you proceed in that case. If you are already existing um, student, like you always like sign up with the email password. Make sure it's ideal you don't use your regular day-to-day email for this one. It would be ideal if you use a new set of email, and remember its password. If you have problem with forgetting things like passport and all this thing, then better you do it the regular, because regular has so many other thing goes on, right? So if you use your regular one, you may miss important notification actually. Like for example, if you're scheduling the exam, suddenly they send you that this particular center has been cancelled. This thing happened with one of the candidates. She even didn't know that her exam was particularly cancelled. Very lately she get to know actually. And another one, by reaching exam center, get to know there was no exam, because they said, we have sent you email, so this that. So that's why email is important actually. Email is a document, so so it's important that you have maybe have a separate account just for this educational purposes. All right, like epic verification on this MC account, or your education. Like it's better to have a you know your separate email actually. Like that's the thing. We learn from the mistake. Initially we also don't know these things actually. So when we did it later, it got messed up actually. That's one of the things. But very importantly, you try write down those passwords somewhere actually. Tell it to your mom, because they have diary and the things they wrote this thing. Your father probably wrote this thing somewhere actually. That means in case if you forget and the things, they can also help. Like this is important actually. Like one of the student, it happened that much later was trying to enter, forgot the password. But if it's your email, then you can also set the password again actually. So these are the particular things about the epic and the portal. Like, so make sure you finish things, you make the payment. Epic also has their own phone number, if you can see. Make sure if you call them, I mean, they do a lot of drama when you call, definitely. So they I mean, it's not like our services, you guys like call and quickly get something and message. They, in most of the countries, they reply like quite a late actually. Whenever you message something 1 day, 2 day, they takes time to reply back email. Some cases even 3 4 days it takes actually. Okay, so telephonic assistant available from Monday through Friday. This is the time. This is what time? I mean, because this is epic verification, so it's US relevant time actually. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, so if you want to call, make sure you know that what time you are calling at a time when the office is closed actually. So this is one. If major issue, you can also call them and clarify, and this is like info at the rate this thing. Another thing, some of your, whenever you listen to this video second time, um in the YouTube, maybe we'll post this one, and some of your medical may not be uh, in the very first one, like eligibility list may not fulfill. In that case, it's ideal, you need to notify epic, and it's from your own medical college principal. Make sure they take the initiative actually. Even a medical college which is already listed can be sometimes unlisted, or their verification may not work if principal changes actually. So because principal signature, remember one thing, epic will send the papers to your own medical college for verification actually. So in that case, you probably need to also notify your college, or most cases they know, they contact you. But it's when you will applying, give a, like inform any friend in your medical college or a register or someone that your paper might go, it's ideal, because in some countries it's not like that professional actually, or some medical college wise it might vary. So it's better you contact them, and principal signature what they already have in in Epic, like listed, or in AMC which is listed, it has to be the same. So if principal changes, one of with my student happens a whole, they were not understanding, they keep emailing, they keep trying calling, they just said okay, we'll see later, get over the phone, like a lot of people are trying, were very angry. Then they get to know, okay, the principal's signature is not matching, that's why their epic was not successful actually, imagine. And then after that thing, they were stuck for another 5-6 months actually, right? So these are these kind of situations, some unwanted can happen. So it is always ideal whenever you are planning for an exam, and if you already make up your mind, make sure you start quickly with epic, because most cases, what is the time for epic to like what kind of time it may take, like please let us know in the comment section, guys, how much time you guys it takes, I mean, for you guys, like for to finish the epic quickly. Let us know actually, because when I did, it was little different, and so some of the candidates are latest, like so how much time it takes to finish the epic verification actually. All right, so epic verification, I would say, I mean, nowadays it happens faster because of electronics. So 1 week to 1 month actually, I would say this is the time actually. All right, so you should tell the like something like incubation period. So 1 week to 1 month actually. Some cases you are applying in Monday, so by Thursday is finished. So for some cases it's 5 days, some cases 2-3 days, maybe depends on when you are time of applying and the things. So these things can happen. I also have seen with another candidate takes 2 months, in recent time. Okay, so these things, yeah, can happen. Portal account is very easy. Portal account you just opened, is opened up very quickly actually, right guys? Portal account, I think, is very easy. So it's more like a sign up. You just finish it, pay it, done. I mean, it's more like that actually. So portal account is nothing actually. All you need in information is actually when later, when you will enter, like example, like through this one, when you enter through email and the past one, this is the MC portal, as you can see this portal. So in that portal, it's very very important that you uh, get a sign, like what kind of sign, that eligible, eligible for AMC MCQ. When you will enter into that and eligible for MC MCQ exam, this will be your status. So is there any option you guys can see? I mean, those of you done with EPIC and AMC, can you see this one, that eligible for AMC MCQ exam actually? All right, so this is, you need to see that one. That means you can now pay and continue for the exam actually. So some cases, if this is pending, like, means you have to wait actually, because your epic in process, like you can open the portal account immediately also, that's another thing, not a problem. But it's because the epic is also related. So then when both would be done, then there will be a mass update came in the status whenever you log into the account. And when you will be entering, they will show you in the beginning that status is eligible for MC MCQ exam. When you will pass MC part 1 exam, then it will come as a status actually. Now how do you check the result? Like it will be eligible for AMC clinical exam actually. So who wants to see this message at certain point, that eligible for AMC clinical exam actually sometime? So I'm sure it's everyone, I guess. So it will definitely come actually. So that's the status, they will show you this kind of status actually. All right, very very important. So I hope so you got some idea about this epic related thing. So one is this, when you go, like you can just type um, www.ecmfg.org. Okay, so this is the main thing, ecmg.org. So anyway, so a lot of things out there, electronic, or you enter into the Australian one, so that'll be more better actually in that case. So yeah, so it's given here. So go through it. I'm sharing this link, and you'll find it, and you can to the remaining. Yes. All right. I hope so this thing is helpful for you guys. Um, to let me know in the comment section if this is helpful, or yeah, in future, any sort of video you want me to make, do let me know in the comment section. We'll post this section in our YouTube as well, so that many get some benefit from it actually. All right. Some small things also came up while doing my epic verification, like how easily I'm telling you must be knowing those did it is not as easy as like that. Okay. Sometimes small thing came up. What sort of pictures, what sort of passport, like so all these things also like make sense. They will give you more clear view when you start actually, but when you start, you will eventually finish it. So ask people, ask a friend who already did it. That's how when I did it, I was also taking help from a friend who did it before me. That's the most easiest and basic technique actually. I'll look for a friend who already did it. Okay, so because the person know it already actually, so any 1 2 point you got stuck, the person might help you actually. Right. So these are the two things we just learned about the epic verification MC portal account and set for MCQ exam. Now let's get back to our class and start this thing. Wish you all the best actually, guys.